This man ate my son. Hello everyone, it's CJ from Suck War Central, and okay, maybe I was being a little dramatic. Ate is a bit of a metaphorical exaggeration, and can I really call this creature my son? Kaluto has been referred to as both a boy and a girl by different people, and the word brother has lost all meaning in the Zoldyck household. In any case, as much as I would like to talk about this delightful little goober who has never done anything wrong for a whole 10 minutes, today's subject of discussion is Illumi. Now, it's been over 6 years since we last saw this man and learned his alleged purpose aboard the Black Whale, but since then, we have acquired a very interesting tidbit of information which casts doubt on everything he told the Phantom Troop. So let's dive deep into what this certified Clussy lover could really be up to and why he's here. Before we establish Illumi's supposed goal, let's talk about what we know to be true. Illumi has graduated beyond his petty ambitions of serving the family and controlling Killua. He wants to obtain the power of Nanaka for himself. Now, ostensibly, joining the Phantom Troop for this wacky side quest to kill Hisoka does not help him in that regard. In fact, it's a complete distraction that might get him killed, and really, why isn't he back on land chasing Killua and Aluka around? That one's easy enough to answer in my opinion. Killua has made it clear that this isn't something Illumi can win. When ordered by Killua, Nanaka's wishes have no cost. If Illumi goes after them, Killua can just have him sent away. And if Illumi keeps on antagonizing them, well, it's only a matter of time before Killua gets tired of his shit and just has Nanaka delete him. Illumi wants Nanaka's power, but he's never going to be able to get the real Nanaka, and I think he knows that. If only there were a whole new world of Nanakas out there, ripe for the yoinking. Oh, guess what? Nanaka is actually I, a calamity from the Dark Continent. That's right. I posit that Illumi's purpose for taking part in this voyage is to go to the Dark Continent as a member of the Hunter Association and get a hold of a brand new eye that will be his little sister and listen to his wishes, since Plan A didn't really work out. So that's why he feels he simply has to be on the boat. Taking that into account though, his actions still seem senseless. According to Illumi, he was hired to join the Phantom Troop and kill Hisoka. It might seem exhaustive, but given the allegations I'm about to make, it's important to establish every little bit of information we can about this whole situation. For one thing, we know that Hisoka has planned for Illumi to join the Phantom Troop since before he fought Chrollo at Heaven's Arena. This is evidenced by this panel, featuring a number of remaining spiders that only makes sense if Illumi is counted. So, this is definitely something Illumi and Hisoka arranged with each other, even though Illumi should want to avoid chaos until he reaches the Dark Continent. I would argue, however, that if the arrangement is as presented to us, Illumi doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Even if he declines fighting Hisoka, he knows full well that Hisoka is going to come after him because that's just what he does. I mean, look what he did to Chrollo. Worst case scenario, if Illumi tries to ignore this request, then Hisoka is going to kill off the entire Phantom Troop and then come after him, and he'll have to fight Hisoka alone. However, if he helps the spiders fight Hisoka, he'll have allies to increase his odds of success. It'd be better for Illumi to just take care of this problem right now on as close to his own terms as he'll get. On paper, this all checks out, so case closed, right? However, when you look at what Illumi's actually done with his time, it seems a bit more questionable. The only ally Illumi ended up teaming up with was Kaluto, and while I love this little goober, let's be honest, they won't be as much help against an opponent of Hisoka's caliber as like any other member of the Phantom Troop. So, as far as fighting Hisoka goes, Illumi has placed himself in more or less the same position he would be in if he were by himself. Teaming up with the spiders doesn't seem to have actually gained him anything, which makes me think he has some other goal. Furthermore, we have direct reasons to suspect that Illumi isn't genuinely looking for Hisoka like he claims to be. Now, Illumi knows Hisoka about as well as anyone could, so he'll have a pretty good understanding that Hisoka loves his finery. We always see this man in nice hotels, nice restaurants, and dressed to the nines. It should be extremely obvious to Illumi that Hisoka wouldn't be caught dead slumming it on the lower tiers and is almost certainly a VVIP on Tier 1. Our confirmation of that in recent chapters, by the way, is the interesting tidbit of info I was referring to. Despite this, Illumi is quite notably not on Tier 1, even though he has a VVIP ticket. He is actively choosing to avoid the place where he should know he can find his supposed target. And when this guard asks him why, his answer is business. So what exactly could Illumi's business be on the lower tiers? In order to answer that, I'd like to draw your attention to Hunter x Hunter Volume 36. It depicts the Phantom Troop, with several flowers amongst them to represent the deceased members, as you can see by this comparison against Volume 12. And look who happens to be holding another flower. That's right, I believe that Illumi's true purpose is to kill the members of the Phantom Troop. Now, before you boo me off the stage, let me defend myself here. Illumi's goal is most likely to make it to the Dark Continent in one piece. Therefore, he wants what Kurapika and the Hunter Association want, to slow the roll on the succession war and prevent conflicts from escalating. For that reason, Illumi actually has a vested interest in taking out the Phantom Troop. These people are a force of anarchy with a habit of wreaking destruction wherever they go. Aside from the Heali, they may very well be the single greatest threat to stability on the Black Whale 1. It was with good reason that Mizai-san was practically crapping his pants when he learned they were all aboard the ship. Therefore, anybody who wants this boat to make it to the new continent safely has a reason to gun for the Phantom Troop. Knowing that Hisoka was feuding with them, Illumi could have seen himself as the deciding factor to ensure the spiders stay under control and accepted Hisoka's commission to eliminate them. If he's working with Hisoka, I could see him being confident enough to believe that he could take out the rest of them while Hisoka cleans up the first few. And what's more, this motive explains two other key points of Illumi's behavior during the Succession War. For starters, when asked if the other spiders are on the Black Whale by Mizai-san, Illumi immediately answers yes. While he claims he just spoke without thinking, I have my suspicions. You see, this puts the Zodiacs on high alert for this dangerous group of criminals and potentially adds to the number of enemies the Phantom Troop have to deal with. All in all, from the Spider's perspective, this may have been the worst way Illumi could have possibly handled this situation. Second of all, this explains why Illumi went off with just Kaluto when a group of 3 would have been more sensible, especially when Kaluto barely counts as a fighter. Sorry little buddy, but you said it yourself. You're no match for the other members of the Phantom Troop. The reason Illumi wants Kaluto is because Kaluto is tracking all the other spiders through their confetti dolls. Illumi probably believes, justifiably or not, that he can bend Kaluto to his whims and use them in his scheme to assassinate the other spiders. If Kaluto cooperates, then all Illumi has to do is track which of the spiders are alone and start picking them off. So, to recap, Illumi has a vested interest in killing the Phantom Troop, has avoided the area he should know he'll be able to find Hisoka because of business, has gone out of his way to make more potential enemies for the spiders, and is traveling with the one person he can use to track the other spiders' locations, and was drawn on volume 36 in such a way as to pretty clearly suggest he's here to kill the other troop members. And before you yell at me and say that using some volume cover art is a stretch, Togashi loves to hide secrets in his volume covers and color pages. For example, look at volume 30. Pariston and Sayu are the only two holding their hands behind their backs, hinting that they have secrets, and it wasn't for another 2 to 3 volumes that they were revealed as traitors working for Beyond Netero. Volume 33 also hints at the existence of Stealth Dolphin, which wasn't actually revealed in story until volume 35. So, with that in mind, I'd actually say this is an extremely compelling bit of evidence suggesting Illumi is going to kill at least one member of the Phantom Troop. Now, a common counter-argument to this theory is that if Illumi really is an enemy of the Phantom Troop and Chrollo let him join, well, that just makes Chrollo look stupid. To this, I say, well, yeah, with the context we have. In isolation, doesn't it already look kind of stupid? As far as we know, Chrollo did just let Hisoka's favorite known associate who is a professional assassin join the Phantom Troop ranks. That seems incredibly dangerous, and you'd have to be pretty stupid not to consider the option of betrayal. If I were to suggest, prior to chapter 377, that Illumi was going to join the Phantom Troop, the Hunter x Hunter fandom would throw rocks at me, and probably for the same reason. It would make Chrollo look stupid. But we have not seen everything, and Hunter x Hunter is a story where Togashi rarely shows us the full picture at the start of any situation. For all we know, Chrollo is considering the possibility of betrayal and has a plan in mind for it. Or maybe he used a lie detection Hatsu on Illumi, who counteracted it by manipulating himself. Look, it sounds complicated, but this is Hunter x Hunter. These sorts of things happen. And really, if Illumi joined the Phantom Troop and was faithful to Chrollo, would it actually make the decision look any less stupid when you think about it? It still comes across as a tremendously risky gamble. It's like letting Bill Clinton onto your team right before you go after Jeffrey Epstein, and given the allegations against Hisoka, I will stand by that comparison. Common sense dictates that Crollo shouldn't trust Illumi under any circumstances, no matter what he says, and yet he let him onto the team. That's why, until we know all the details, we can never be too quick to judge what's going on in Hunter x Hunter. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this exploration of what the crap is really going on with Illumi Zoldyck. I hope to see y'all in the next one, just as I hope you have a wonderful day.